thank you for everybody who is here joining us. Thank you for lending us your ears and hearing a bit about what we have to say about what we did and accomplished this summer. So hello again, my name is Jennifer Martinez-Perez, and today I'll be talking to you about my own 2020 Mars rover that I got to construct this summer along with Steph. So just to give you guys a bit of background about who I am. So the school I am currently attending is Mundy's Middle High School. I will be a rising junior, so go class 2022, with the cumulative GPA of a 4.0. Some of the things that I am involved with include AFJROTC, the National Honor Society program, and also being the president of the Walking in Authority Teen Council. My plans for after graduating high school include attending the United States Air Force Academy and become a JAGS officer in the long run. So before I start talking about all the things I want to talk about, I really want to give you guys a chance to catch the essence of what exactly went on this year in STEP. So for our first week, I would like to call it the basics. Here's where we got to click a link to try to meet everybody, as well as how we did for the remaining of the program. But yeah, we really got the chance to introduce ourselves and start working through a virtual program platform called Blue Jeans, which I had never used before, but it's actually pretty cool. Since the first day, we started getting hands-on. As soon as we got out of introductions out of the way, we started grabbing the PVC and trying to put them together and building our frame, messing with the circuits, and then charging batteries, all of that good stuff. It was quite a lot we did in the first week, thinking back on it, but it was good stuff. Another thing that went on during the first week of the program, I started thinking, so I'm going to be building this robot. What would I like to name it? And that leads us into our second week. So for our second week, we really started thinking about modifications, and we also did a bit of troubleshooting. So for anybody who had problems going on with their rovers, we would fix them at the time, because we all have different problems at certain times. Luckily, I got all of mine fixed. So here's where a lot of the creativity started to kick in. So we began brainstorming. Okay, now that we have moving rovers, because we had finished the outline in the first week, what can I do to it to elevate it to the next level? What would I like to see in my own rover that I'll be taking with me to Mars? So here's where a lot of the independent work started happening. And yeah, because a lot of people had different ideas, and here's where we really had to start implementing the ideas that we were thinking of into the actual rover. So for our last but not least final week of camp, which was our third week, here's what I would call our final modifications. So here's where we started to put a halt to what we were doing and kind of finding that sweet spot where we were pleased with what we had done, because yet again, there's only 3 weeks of STEP. So the word final there isn't really final. I will continue working on my robot after this program, but for now, everything that I had added has already been added. And yeah, I actually came up with the name of my robot during this week. As you can see in one of the pictures, I added some solar lights to it, which kind of resembled eyes, so it really reminded me of the legendary Disney character of WALL-E. So I ended up calling it WALL-E number 2. So here's just a quick picture of what my rover looked before we started adding the modifications, and after I added all of my pizzazz to it. So here you can see the premature WALL-E grow into the beautiful WALL-E he is today. The picture you see over here on your left shows what Dr. Grilling had left each and every one of us with, which is the basics, what it all looked like before we started adding our modifications. So what was my inspiration? What led me to make the modifications I did to my robot? So for me personally, I really looked up to the 2020 rover that they will be actually sending to Mars. In my opinion, the 2020 rover is the best rover there is out there, because it is the most advanced, the one that they have put the most work in due to the rovers that came before him. And yeah, I really wanted to mimic its greatness and all the different cool features it had, because if I want a rover to come along with me to my expedition on Mars, I want the best of the best. So here you can see a quick chart of all the different modifications I ended up doing to my robot. So here you can see some of the work I actually successfully completed and I actually liked, some work that I'm still working on currently, and even some of the things I ended up doing, but I didn't quite end up liking and ended up changing. So here you can see my most proud modifications I did. So on the before side, you can see that at the beginning she had given us zip ties. The zip ties worked. The zip ties were stressful though. They were really hard to tighten, and then even with a set amount of time, they will start getting loosening up, and the motors will fall. So what I ended up implementing was a T-shaped PVC that I ended up buying, and we screwed the screws in. I added the glue, and now that motor won't go anywhere. Another thing I did was with the wiring. The wiring was kind of all over the place for a rover, in my opinion. Like each motor was wired individually. So I figured that if I were to be actually taking this rover into a Mars expedition, the wiring could get caught up on different things when it tries climbing up the rocks. So what I did was just drill some holes into the hollow PVC and just combine all the wiring into one. So some of my other modifications included here my work in progress and the ideas I ended up changing. So for my sensor tower, which is the picture with the sunflower, that is a solar panel light. But if you look below it, you see that there's a place where you can add a pop socket. So my current rover camera is my own cell phone camera. But, if I'm going to Mars, I don't actually want to take my cell phone camera. I want an actual camera. Probably an infrared one. But still, that's something I'm currently working on. You see a solar panel there as well. So I have two ideas for that. I can either use it as a charging mechanism for my battery, because, in Mars, we don't have outlets. Or take away the whole 12-volt battery and put the solar panel instead. But that's still something I'm trying to figure out. The ideas I changed was that I had originally put metal clamps into my motors. I didn't quite like the way it looked, so I ended up changing it, and then the metal box for the battery. If I do take away the battery, there will be no need for a metal box battery. So what did I learn? 3 weeks may not seem like a lot of time, but measuring it from the things you didn't know to the things you know now, it's a lot. So I could go on and on, but one thing that I would like to point out is the last bullet, which is how to troubleshoot and think like an engineer. Due to the fact that we had to do all of these different kind of things virtually, I really believe that we really got that experience more advanced kind of experience, because we really had to learn how to communicate properly and say, okay, I think this is an issue, then try to discuss possible solutions. So I really think that one was something that really happened during this program and COVID situation. So my overall experience, I'm saying this and I genuinely mean it, I wouldn't have changed this experience for anything in the world. I think that the STEP program is an amazing program, summer program. And if you were to ask me what summer program would I recommend to people, I'd easily say STEP. I think that it just teaches a person a lot, especially technical stuff and cool stuff, even if this isn't what you're interested in doing when you want to grow up, but still. I really enjoyed this experience. I wanted to put special attention to the quote I have in the bottom about challenges. I have personally never ever built a robot before, not a rover, anything, so that was a challenge on itself. Then trying to do it virtually, that was an even bigger challenge. But I really think I learned a lot from it, and yeah, I'm glad I actually took this challenge upon myself. So, of course, I couldn't wrap up this whole presentation without saying a special thank you to our sponsors, who is Lockheed Martin, the Georgia Space Grant, and the Aerospace System Design Lab. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't even be here talking about the experience I just experienced and all the things I've learned, and even to have this chance, as well as my other peers during the summer. So yeah, thank you. We really appreciate it. So that was my whole presentation. Does anyone have any questions?
Jennifer, this is Chris from Lockheed. And I'll probably ask this for everyone, and I'm always interested in how they overcome their challenges. But what was your greatest challenge, and how did you go about overcoming it?
Ooh, great question. Biggest challenge? This whole thing was a challenge, but the hardest one, I would say, was getting the Arduino to work right on my computer. For some reason, my computer was just acting up, and it was hard for it to see that the thing was plugged in and try to get the code into the Nano. That one was really hard. I had to privately call Dr. Grinling for hours after the session to try to figure that whole thing out. That was probably the hardest, but after we got it working right and we successfully put in the code into the rover, it was a big relief, and I was really excited because that was the part that made my rover from just an artifact that was standing there to an actual moving robot. So yeah, that was probably the hardest challenge.
And I'll add to that one challenge, Chris, that I didn't account for was how many different operating systems we would be working with when we did this remotely, and how software behaves differently on all the different operating systems. So that was a fun day.
Yeah, if you go into the engineering field and you deal with compilers, that becomes a major challenge, is making sure the compilers line up, because it's very easy for things to not compile correctly going across operating systems.
Right, and Dr. Grilling really did a good job on explaining all of that and reassuring that this wasn't an issue that I would have to stress for or worry about, because she was always there reassuring that we're going to figure this out. We're not leaving until we figure this out. I got you, and all of that. But yeah, it was fun. Not a problem that I expected to have.
I would like to know what was, and I guess actually someone else did ask the question, but what was your motivation for joining this program? Because STEP is, traditionally focused on a lot of STEM, STEM topics, and a career potentially in JAG may or may not really put you in a STEM-related environment. So I'm curious as to what led you to STEP.
I didn't even find out about the program itself. It was actually my SASE senior aerospace science instructor that told me about this opportunity and how he really wanted us to take a part of it and really learn from it. I've actually always been interested in trying to learn about STEM things because it's something that they always mention in school, STEM this, STEM that. So when I applied to it, I didn't think I was going to get accepted because I didn't know that, I don't know, I just didn't think I was going to get accepted. So after I got accepted, I was ecstatic. I don't know what I'm going to use this knowledge with in the future. I'm definitely going to continue working on my robot because that's really interesting. But yeah, I might consider changing career fields after this, or maybe looking into something different or something for after the military, or something while working in the military, something like that. But yeah, it definitely wasn't me who looked for this program. I guess the program found me. But yeah,
That's still awesome, though. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad I did.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I'm glad it's been challenging for you, and I'm glad that it's inspired you to do things that you may not have realized that you have the skills and capacity to be able to do, and that you want to continue. I'm excited that you want to continue building your robot, and I encourage you to share with us as you have successes or challenges. Do definitely share those with us moving forward. We'd love to see it, and that goes for all of you guys if you do continue to move forward. So